Ain't no way to stop when we lock them down. Get that ball, pass it to me, then we rock them now. Holding trophies to crown, on the throne, no playing around. Get that ball, I'll be shooting, then I'm knocking them down. Princess on a mission, one go, we gon' get it. We taking over the game, all gas, no brakes, you tripping. Duck on them, no assistance, all this heat in my kitchen. You should know that we different, going deep with precision. Beyond the arc. We lock them down, get that ball, pass it to me, then we rock them now. Holding trophies, the crown, on the throne, no playing around. Get that ball, I'll be shooting, then I'm knocking them down. Princess on a mission, one go, we gon' get it. We taking over the game, all gas, no brakes, you tripping. Duck on them, no assistance, all this heat in my kitchen. You should know that we different, going deep with precision. Beyond the arc.
What is up with the squad? We back. It must be Thursday at 1 o'clock. What's happening? We got it. Must be Thursday at 1 o'clock. Breakdown. We a few minutes late, but here we are. Hey, we got it for y'all today. Prince, what's happening?
Hey, look. Hey, this is a special one right here, man. She got a little bit of me in her. This is look. I was excited doing this one. I didn't really really break down her film a lot, but I was watching her and it was like, okay, South Carolina got them one.
Okay, I'm glad. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Y'all coming in the door, y'all hit that like and the share. They both right there. Hit the like and the share. They both right there. 5 of y'all share this thing out. Let them know we in here talking. Let's go. So I watched it. I'm watching the film too, right? I don't know. I probably didn't watch as much film as you. If you go back to my videos last year, it was people in my chat like, Cess, what you think about Latson? Special? I don't know if she's special enough for her size at the right? That's been my thing. So now I get to watch this thing up close and personal in the system I know, right? So that's exciting for me. The game is there. The size is what is the only thing that still concerns me. Gets downhill. I like the poise, right? And I think that goes back to just while you watching video, I'm doing all the research. So we got us a military kid. So you moved all over. You just show up and hoop. You know what I mean? That's a different attitude to come with. So she's been a builder. You know what I mean? And that goes back like, okay, so she's into the Legos, but she's also a builder on the court, right? So I'm fascinated by the kid. I can't wait to break her down. Formerly at Florida State, but now at the South Carolina Gamecocks, man, 5'8" guard. I ain't gonna hold you, Prince. Coming in, I was like, Late Latson Ray? I was excited. Late Latson Ray? I already had it together. You hear me? Late Latson Ray? Ray Latson? You know what I mean? I was ready. It's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out that way. But we will battle in February. And so let's get into her. Let's get into her and see how. And I don't want anybody to feel like in any way we're like she's here to replace Malaysia. Malaysia did what Malaysia did. Her legacy is what it was at South Carolina. I don't think that changes. But when I'm looking at her, like from the moment she got to Florida State, she didn't just hit the floor, right? She kind of took over. She was Rookie of the Year in the ACC Rookie of the Year conversation. Broke the league's freshman scoring record, I believe.
Yeah,
14 straight 20-point games. More than any D1 freshman woman, you know what I'm saying, had ever done before. 7 30-point games and 28 points, 9 boards. I'm still just talking about her as a freshman. I ain't even talking about last year. I'm talking about her as a freshman. That's wild, right? And then every season she just stacked up on it. Year 2 was the scoring. I mean, year 1 was the scoring. Year 2 was the leadership. I think playmaking. You saw more of the court vision. Because I tried to watch year by year so I could see the progression. And then last year it was a FAFO. FAFO. If she'd had any other real help with her, Florida State might have made some noise. You know what I couldn't get over? All the points she was putting up, nobody came to see her at Florida State, man. It was empty in them gyms watching them games. Like, goodness gracious, bro. How y'all not?
That's a football town. That's a football town.
Okay. I mean, you in Florida, you a Miami kid, come on. I guess, like I said.
I get it. And when we get into some of her accolades in a little bit, I'll kind of explain that. It'll make sense probably why the stadium wasn't that packed. It'll make sense. They've had some good players come through there, but she got a case for the best.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, and before we get into the ACC, she had already built a resume over multiple states. Westlake High, we know Westlake High because that's where Big Bird, Reagan, Johnson, reigned supreme. 4 championships, a national title. I believe 2 of those with Latson and a national title, Geico national title. So, 23.7 points on 62% shooting in high school, ridiculous.
Crazy. That's crazy.
But her efficiency is outstanding. They was the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Max Prep's national champs. And then she went back home for her senior year. She went back home to Florida and was the centerpiece. 27.2 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. You know what I mean? 5.3 steals, 2 blocks. Gatorade Player of the Year, this basketball state title, McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic. She's the top-rated shooting guard in the class of 2022, I believe. Again, if I'm wrong in the chat, y'all correct me. But by graduation, she had done all of those things, and then she showed up. She showed up at Florida State. I don't even know. Tell me this, Prince. Why do you think she chose Florida State? With everywhere that she could have went, why Florida State? Help me understand that.
I mean, it's home. That coach is known from previous stops to let young players play. I think that goes into recruiting a lot with players. When you think about like, why would you go to this school? Sometimes it's not about championships in the beginning. Sometimes it's about playing. Again, I always have the philosophy of, if you're getting recruited, you and your parents got to be honest with your skill set and your potential and say, am I ready for the next level? I can go chase those championships, right? I can go to those championship programs. But if I need development, maybe start somewhere where I can raise my play of game, get my understanding and knowledge of the basketball symmetrics of the court down. So if I want to, like Latson is doing, I can on the back end go back in to the transfer portal and go to a school that can get me over the hump and get me to the pros with a championship under my belt. So you always want to be, your kids and their parents got to be honest with their kids, where their kid is when they come to recruiting. You just got to be honest with it, because again, some not ready, some are. Coaches make all the difference if you're going to go pro or not. Sometimes it's not the program, because South Carolina, UConn, they got players that don't make it pro, right? But they're prestige program. So you got to just be honest with yourself and figure out where you are. And I think that's was probably like hometown kid. This coach gonna play rookies, freshmen gonna let me kind of like do what I do and not turn me into something else to fit their system. And I think that was a big part of it. If you look at her high school play to her freshman year, she just elevated. She didn't change her play style.
So I got a question for you. How much of that is about her size? Right? Like for her size, 5'8". And I'm not saying that she's small. What I'm saying is that at 5'8", she doesn't stand out, right? She's not a Raven with a 6'2" wingspan, right? She's not that, right? So 5'8", I go to Florida and I'll show you everything I can do for 3 years. I've been unstoppable, right? You got to be looking at me. And now in the 4th year, I go and I'm going to show you that I can play in a system. Does that work better for her because of her size, or would it have been better?
It does.
The system for 3. I'm trying to figure out the difference between playing in the system first and then showing your skill set versus showing your skill set and playing in the system. If you follow me.
It does, because again, at Florida State, it was show your skill set. I feel at SC, she's about to go into a system where she's part of the wheel, right? Where Dawn's going to put her in position to win, as long as she's doing what needs to be done that affects the team in a positive way. That's kind of how Dawn coaches. Like positivity in your play style dictates how many minutes you get.
Exactly.
Like you talked about Latson's background, military, Dawn Staley kind of has that old school structured approach. Like, because guess what? Cess, a lot of people don't realize this. And I hear this a lot. Like, when you get to the next level, it's a more free flowing. No, it's not. No, it's not. Ask Deja Kelly if it's more free flowing.
So then why does but okay. So then why does Cam Brink look better to me? Why does she look freer at the WNBA level then? Not to go there, but I mean, now you brought it up. Now that was a question I got now.
Cam Brink, because Cam Brink is able to affect on the defensive end. Her offense still looks the same as Stanford. She isn't playing as she isn't getting as many attempts offensively back to the basket, shooting from that right elbow. She isn't getting them a lot because she's on the court with Rikia, Azare stretching the floor on the kick drive from Kelsey. Then you got Kelsey operating at the top of the key. So her offense looks a little different, but her defense, honestly, her defense is the same to me. I mean, that she was number 2. She was number 2 for what reason, Cess? Her defense.
I don't know. And that was my thing. I was like, for number 2, who? For what? Man,
I didn't have her number 2 neither.
Here's the thing.
I didn't have her number 2.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch a lot of Stanford. They came and took one from us, so it's some bias there, right? Just as a Gamecock fan. But then it was like, okay, let me see who they are. And then Juju went in there as a freshman, dropped 51. I was like, oh, disrespectful. You ain't gonna follow her hard. Never mind. But we ain't talking about them right now. But when we talk about Latson and her size, like I said, and she's not much bigger. She's not smaller than a lot of the people in the WNBA right now. So it's not about being able to compete right now. It's about the trajectory and where the WNBA is going, right? And so when you talk about, like, there's a 6'4" Miari O'Neal calling herself a guard, 5'8" guards, they're not gonna be surviving in the WNBA much longer, I don't think, right? You got international players coming over, you got bigger guards coming over. Juju coming in like what, 6? What they say, Juju is 6'2"?
6'2".
Tessa coming in at 6 foot. You got to be really, really special, I think, up under 6 feet over these next few years to be able to get into the W and stick. So it's not so much about her as much as it's about the business of the WNBA and where I see him going. And I can see teams trying to go for a bigger international guard over her versus taking the chance on her. And that was my concern. Will she stick?
Yeah, I mean, her injury scare is a concern. I always like to let people know this, right? She looks healthy, like Cam Brink, because we on Cam Brink. So Cam Brink look healthy, right, Cess? But this is what people got to remember. This is what people have to remember, though. Surgery, they're not putting anything in. They're taking something out. So she could look healthy one moment, and then the next moment you get a report they're swelling. She got to sit out another 3 months. So her size, her girth isn't that big. It's a lot of bone on bone going on with her because there ain't a lot girth to her, right? So with a person like that, you got to be careful with them. And I think that's why it took so long for her to come back. And she's looking spry, but I'm pretty sure the athletic trainers are being very cautious, watching film, watching how she's landing. Like, a lot of people don't know that when you get injured, you have film study on how you're moving. So her probably all this month that she's came back, they're probably next day going in, seeing how she's actually just landing, saying, hey, Cam Brink, be careful when you're landing under the basket for these feet. So when you land, make sure you're landing like this on your toes, like things like that. Like you got to be careful with those. So again, like those players come from overseas, they kind of got Cam and Brink's body type.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like the Dominique Malangas, like how durable will they be down the stretch? When you think about the bigs, like the further the way they get from the basket, yes, that's probably a strength in their actual game, but is that a consistent strength? You might get drafted for being able to stretch the floor, but is that really what you do the best as far as like your game? You get what I'm saying? Like, or is it your ability to stretch the floor, it's an actual side benefit of getting downhill. Like a Dominique Malanga, she can stretch the floor. So if you're guarding her, she can get downhill quick. So that's why most of her points come from. But at the next level, she ain't gonna be able to get downhill. So now she got to turn into a jump shooter. And now you don't get the Dominique Malanga you drafted.
Yeah, and you gotta be able to play defense, or you get off the floor, and they got to go to Ezzy. But we won't go there right now. We're gonna break down. I think we'll get to some breakdown on those other players, but we'll stay right here. She's such an offensive weapon. Talk about some of the things that you liked about just her as a player. Her as a player. I know you got a chance to watch a few things, so
what she can do at her height with her wingspan, it all starts with her first step. Like she got to be able to get to a spot before the defender because of her size and her wingspan being so limited. Her shot release has to be on point. It has to be quick. She gotta she's like a sharp quarterback, Cess.
Okay.
They can't see throwing windows. It's all anticipation. And when you watch her play, it's all anticipation. She knows what the defender is going to do, and that lets you know she has a high basketball IQ because she can really read defenders well in open court, one-on-one ISOs, getting downhill. Her speed, quickness, and IQ is arguably unmatched in college basketball right now. That's why she was the leading scorer. And again, she doesn't take too many bad shots to say she was the leading scorer in college basketball last year. Because sometimes you see the leading scorers, right? But they get into those bad habits of taking long threes and taking ill-advised shots, coming down the court 6 times in a row, shooting. She can facilitate with the best of them when she actually wants to. I'm going to tell you this, Seth. Watching her game, she actually can average more assists than she averages. The coach needs her. The coach needs her to be a volume shooter on that team because everybody else on that team is just stretch players. They're not her. So I think on South Carolina, Dawn is going to benefit from her passing ability. Again, to be the leading scorer and still almost average 5 assists a game this is college. This isn't AT and the WNBA. Like this is college. 4 assists at that scoring level is actually great.
Okay, so is that a testament to the coach? Is that a testament to her style of play? Where do you
style of play and her ability to be unselfish. Her style.
She has great court vision too.
Yes, you can be a high volume shooter and be selfish, and your assists are probably like 2.8. You know what I'm saying? Your assists are probably around 2.8, 2.5. But to her to average almost 5 assists a game, and again, this season, she's had 8 assist games. She's had a 7 assist, multiple 7 assist game. She's had a 9 assist game. So for her to average that many assists with that high load of scoring, that's a testament to her skill set and her ability to see the floor and trust in other players. And again, on South Carolina, Dawn Staley is going to benefit from that because Fuwali, Pow, their game is limited to the play that's being called at that moment. She can do a little bit of everything on the offensive end. I mean, like a little bit of everything. So for her, if her and Dawn Staley are on the same page, her passing ability, her quickness is going to be on full display every time down. Again, she can break down defenders, not just for her, but to get others easy shots. I was watching film, and there's a couple times where she just gets downhill, draws two defenders, so her big can get an easy layup, and versus her just throwing it in there and letting her go one-on-one. No, I'm gonna get you an easy shot using my ability to pass the ball and my quickness. That's levels of IQ that you might not see just first glance. Like, you really gotta look at the film and say, why did she make that pass? Because if you're just watching it, you're gonna say, oh, nice pass, Latson. But if you break down the film, you'll be like, I know why she actually did that. Gotcha. It wasn't that she didn't see her. She was trying to get her an easier shot.
Oh yeah, and I like your comparison to a small quarterback, right? I think when you said it, immediately I saw like Houston, Deshaun Watson. If you know the play, right? You know the play. Yeah. He in the circle, right? Here, there, up. I'm out of there, right? And I'm still scoring. If you know, I'm not talking about Cleveland, Deshaun, none of that. But yeah, that type of just quickness, being able to know, like you said, point of attack, anticipation. You see all of that in her game. How does that fit with a player like a Chloe Kitts? How does that help a Chloe Kitts?
Chloe Kitts lives at the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
All Chloe Kitts has to do is run pick and roll with Ta'Niya Latson, and one of them will get an easy shot. Because Chloe lives at the elbow. She likes the sharp corner, the 5-foot midi in the sharp corner. Like, that's really her game, the elbow to sharp corner. Chloe not gonna get downhill, so she won't be in the way of what Ta'Niya Latson is trying to do, attacking the basket, because she's a pick and pop player. So Ta'Niya Latson at Florida State actually ran a high usage rate of pick and roll, like high usage rate of pick and roll, finding pick and pops. I was watching film on her. She is one of the most patient scorers I've ever seen. Cess, I've watched scorers get a mismatch on pick and roll and go straight to attack mode. Sometimes even on a switch, she knows there's not a mismatch just because it was a switch. She'll pull it back out. She'll be a little patient. She'll probe. She'll keep the ball on the opposite side of the screen so she can actually make a different move, make a better pass if she needs to kick it out. Like, that's something that you just kind of like pick up on. Like, every player can't do that. That's something that you got to add to your game over time. That's not a skill set. That's more of an IQ thing and a floor awareness and how to play basketball. So, I mean, her IQ is amazing, Cess. I'm sorry. I've watched a lot of players. Her IQ is amazing.
What amazes me is she's a scorer and a floor general. She's a scorer and a floor general, right? You don't get that combination, like score. Like, Raven can score. Like, we can ask Raven to score. Raven can score. People like Raven can shoot. Raven can score. She's a scorer and a floor general. It's really different. But we talking about all this offense. So let's look at some of it. Let break down some of this offense that we are seeing out here.
So her ability to be versatile on the offense is going to help Dawn Staley for what she want to do. Like, when we think about quick offense, right? Catch your own rebound, pull up threes, no hesitation. I know I got rebounders. I be patient, wait till they get down. Look how slow and methodical her shooting is. Like, that ain't rush shots. Her ability to just relocate. Team, be patient. Look how patient she is. Okay, wait till my rebound to get in position. You see the rebounders down low? Like, she's not rushing the shots. That's IQ. That's what I mean about she's the most patient scorer, one of the most patient scorers I've ever seen. Her ability to just be patient. Every time she shoots, notice her big is always posted up already. Like, so patient. Every time she shoots, her bigs are around the paint. Her ability to just get her own shot, transition, get downhill. Again, her ability to attack, find open lanes, be shifty, create quick. Coach don't got to call no plays for her. She can just score off the dribble, no matter who's in front of her. A taller defender plays with a ferocity. And, I mean, she's just patient. She just knows how to use dribble lanes. She's just smart. She doesn't put her team in advantageous positions where they just look at her like, why did you shoot that? And you would think that looking at the stat sheet, That's how she plays, but that's not how she actually plays. And I think
because go ahead.
you says Dawn says Dawn is a no nonsense kind of coach, right?
Hey, listen, so no nonsense. But I gotta know from you.
People keep thinking she's another Fawali. She's not. Their games are totally different. She's not coming there to replace Fawali. They could have actually played together. Their games are totally different. They did play
together before. They did. They have played together. So we wanted to see that, but that's okay. What I want to know from you, we talked about Chloe. You know, the one that I want to know, how does she change what Joyce is able to do and be on the floor?
Like I talked about. Get to it. Like I talked about, getting downhill, getting shots for others, easy baskets under the rim. If Joyce can understand what side of the rim she wants to attack on, position herself to get the offensive rebound, or position herself to get an entry pass, Joyce can average 10 points a game just playing with Ta'Niya. If she figures out when Ta'Niya gets down here where she wants her at, and that's going to happen in training camp, they're probably talking about stuff like that right now, doing film study, watching each other's game, because Joyce is not afraid to actually get down there and bang with the best of them. She was young coming in and she was doing it, so another year under her belt will definitely help her maturity and experience and comfortability. Like, it ain't gonna be with Joyce, it ain't gonna be she's just kind of figuring out her groove. For her getting that many minutes and playing in the SEC at that age against those bigs and going up against the Camillas and all of them at practice and stuff, like, that will help her game like tremendously this year. Because Ta'Niya Latson will draw 2. It ain't says Ta'Niya Latson will draw 2.
So let's talk about that.
She will draw 2.
She will.
Whoever is getting Dawn is putting in the pick and roll, they're going to go to Ta'Niya. Trust me.
That's too bad for him.
That's why I say Chloe is going to eat in the pick and pop, and Joyce is going to eat on the peanut butter jelly downhill, your side of the block, offensive rebound possessions. Like, if I was Ta'Niya and Joyce, I would be like, hey, Joyce, when you set the screen for me, open up, don't close, open up inside, because I'm going right or I'm going left. So that way, if your defender comes to help on my drive, I can give it to you. And I watch film on a lot of bigs, Cess. A lot of bigs mess up pick and roll. I hear people say this all the time, like, this point guard doesn't know how to dissect the pick and roll.
Okay.
Like, you got to be able to open up. If your point guard or shooting guard can get downhill, you got to open up. That means you'll turn your chest to the basketball. Don't go the opposite way or your back to the play. Because if I get downhill, your defender don't got to do anything. Yeah, just quick. Look.
I need it.
Crazy thing is, Cess, that's one thing I want Camilla to work on. She doesn't do that enough. That's something that she got to continue to develop in her game. When she sets that screen, open up. Don't run to the basket. Open up. Use your lateral movement, side step to the basket instead of turning and trying to get to the basket. Because now you can't see the point guard and what they're trying to do.
So now I got to ask you this question. We've seen her add the leadership. She added the scoring, right? What would you tell her coming into this year? What should she be adding to her game?
I would say figuring out how she can get to her mid range a little more.
Okay, that's funny you said that, because I didn't see a lot of middies. That was one of the notes I took. It was like, okay, it's either 3-ball or layup. I saw a couple middies. I would love for her to get an elbow jumper. You feel me? Like, you shoot the free throw already well, so I know you can knock it down. Stop and pop that thing sometime. Man, it would make you that much more deadly. But you talked about her attack downhill. What separates her ability to get to the rim from other elite guards at the college level?
Crafty,
is it angles,
quick first jump,
burst?
It's the burst, quick first jump, and being able to be shifty. Because by the time I hop step to this side, and you try to recover in front of me, I'm already in the air because I was shiftier than you. So by the time your lateral movement got to the spot, I'm no longer there anymore. It's not, see, people mistake quickness with the herky jerky movements. That's two different things. Like lateral quickness.
Bro, hold on. Did you look at my notes? That's one of my questions. I wanted you to just define speed, quickness, and I wanted you to talk about speed versus quickness versus twitchiness. So speed versus quickness versus twitchiness is. Come on, man. Let's go. Get out my notes.
Yeah. Quickness is just your quickness. Speed is a downhill thing. Like that's just end to end. That's speed. It's like a wide receiver, right? Like they run go routes, but some of them run go routes. You be like, he's so fast, but all he run is go routes because he don't got no twitch to him. Okay. He either got a long stride or he got a quick first step where he able to get past a cornerback and all he's going to the races now. So like there's levels to it. Like some point guards, like I had speed. I didn't have a lot of quickness. I was shifty though. I didn't have a lot of like first step quickness, but I was like shifty and I had great speed one into the other. So there's like levels to it. Like off ball, you're using more of your quickness. On ball, you're using more speed. So there's level, like, because quickness is about like here to there, like lateral movements. That's your quickness. Like people, you hear the word lateral quickness a lot. You don't never hear lateral speed because speed is just end to end.
And so then that twitchiness is just like, I can make
the twitchiness is all about angles. It's just your angles of attacking. Like twitchiness is just about hip. That's all hip. That ain't feet or hands. That's hip. Twitch is hip.
But hips are important. Hips are important.
Yeah, hips are important to everything.
Are super overlooked. It's hips and ankles to me are super overlooked in women's hoops. But
that's that side to side dribble. That's where you get that twitchiness at, right? It's that side to side dribble, being able to shift the defense. That's the twitch and the quickness working together with each other. Because now I'm here, but now I'm no longer there. Like I said, with her, she can hop step to a spot that's twitch. And by the time you get there, she's used her quickness and she's already in the air.
You know what I noticed about her? She has great, and I think it may be overlooked, decision making in traffic, bro. When she gets in the land of the bigs, she ain't lost at all, bro. It's like a roadmap in that thing. Y'all might be lost. Y'all might not know where she's going, but her decision making in traffic was impressive when I was checking her out. But I feel like her crossover is her signature, right? What's happening with her footwork and her body control that makes the defenders bite so hard? She was breaking down with the crossover.
It's shoulder level. So I when I go home sometimes, when I go to Tulane or whatever, I'm working with point guards a lot, or even guards in general, about like getting downhill, creating for them or others. It's all about shoulder leverage. So if your body isn't actually in a quarter angle, it's hard for you to make the defense guess, because now it's kind of like being a wide receiver, telling the defense where you're going. Like your shoulder level has to be decent. Like you'll see some point guards, they dribble down the court, they're slouched over. You see some standing up straight. You got to be leveled as the point guard, because you never know when you got to make a move. Like you can't just be walking the ball up the court all stagnant. Like level your shoulders, keep your feet in front of you, keep the ball in front of you. You'll see some point guard dribble with the ball to their side a lot. That's bad. Like that's know who struggles with that? HVL struggles with that. That's why HVL dribbles with her back to the basket, because she doesn't have a great feel for the ball. Like she's a point guard by size only. She's a point, like she's not. I argue with people about this all the time. Like HVL is not a point guard. She's not. She never was. People keep saying Olivia Miles going to TCU, that coach is going to help her because he helped HVL. HVL is literally the same player she was at Louisville. See, what happened to people, says they got blinded. They seen Kim Mulkey try to turn her into a point guard at LSU and it failed. So they thought that was HVL, and they forgot the Louisville HVL. No, that coach did nothing for HVL's game. He literally did nothing for. First of all, when did he become a guru? I don't remember him being one of the gurus.
No, that's bounce back you.
Like
that's bounce back you right there.
Yeah, like HVL literally just went
But
to TCU so she can play her game again, not so she can learn something.
but
She went there
but
because he
Prince
was
HVL needed Kim though.
yeah. Again, she ran from the I look. That's why that's why to me, because I get into it with people all the time. They be like, Prince, but HVL a dog. I'd be like, no, she not. I'd be like, y'all looking at it differently than I look at it. I'm a point
What you
guard.
say?
If she's a dog, I'm gonna take Kim's challenge. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna work at it every day. And I'm gonna
Oh,
prove her right. And I'm
oh
gonna
no,
prove
we'll talk
myself
about it.
right. That's a
We'll
dog.
talk about it.
That's a
Oh no,
dog.
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. She got some toughness from down there, but that ain't what. By the time it ended, she had got that. Hey, yeah, you gonna take one for the team. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. They waiting on you done at TCU. You can't be here no more.
Yeah.
You take
Says,
one for the team, but
you can't dribble with your back to the basket. You're the point guard.
I get that part, but you also don't leave her on the island guarding that girl out there like that, man. And you know
don't do that
You
either.
taking one
You
for
don't
the
do
team.
that either.
You take
That
one for
should
the
have been
team. Don't worry
Florjays.
about you. Just
That should have been
just stay out there.
Florjays.
You got it. This on the sideline. You know, well, you know I ain't telling. Look, this how she was doing HBL. Way to go. You got it.
That should have been Florjays' responsibility.
No.
Was there ever a report that came out? I don't want to get too much off topic, but says because you be really into like the college stuff more than me. Was there ever a report that came out after that season where Florjay said, I asked Kim and she told me no?
No. But do you know why? You know why?
She didn't want that smoke either.
It wasn't even that she didn't want that smoke. I don't even think Kim. I think Florjay would have stepped up and tried to guard her. I don't think that Kim wanted Florjay's brand to take that hit with them losing that game. Kim no. I told y'all before she got to South Carolina, she looked down the bench and said, "This what y'all bought with my money? It ain't enough." Kim knew. Yeah. She knew. You could tell by the way she dressed. She knew she wasn't gonna win. I'm not gonna do that to Florjay. I'm not gonna do that to her brand. Hey, HVL, you on your way to TCU. It's not gonna hurt you. You are already in the narrative, girl. Get on out there. Look, it was a wink and a gun. Wink and a gun. You got it. Keep going. Yeah, just like that. We ain't gonna get off topic though. Let's get back over here. You talked about her mid-range game, right? Is it something in her mechanics and shot selection in that area that you think why she doesn't take a lot of mid-range shots, or is it just it's if they don't stop her, she gets all the way to the basket? What is it?
It's a little bit of it's I like that you brought that up because I was gonna say that at the end. It's a little bit of both. Like she's got it into a habit of getting downhill. So her thought process is, let me see if I can get to the rim. It's an easier shot, right? But the opposite side of that is it's her strength. In the mid-range, you got to be strong. You think of the mid-range, like the DTs, the Stewies, like they're strong, and even though they're not like girthy, they're wiry strong. You look at the NBA, you think about the MJs, the Kobe's, like they're strong. Like you got to have body contour, because guess what? When you take middies, you think about the Kawhis, when you take middies, you gonna get contact. If you watch her play, even when she gets downhill, she's at all costs trying to avoid contact. She's trying to find that dribble lane. She's trying to get up and around you. She's big into the up and unders. She's big into the one-stop, pivot, spin back floaters. Like she's big into the drop step floaters. Tony Parker used to do them a lot. Like she's big into that because now you don't got to get touched a lot. So I think for her and Dawn Staley is going to have to sit down, get her a little stronger, right? Especially for the next level, because at the mid-range, somebody's on your hip, and you got to use your strength and lateral quickness to separate yourself from the defense. And she doesn't have a long wingspan, so that's why she doesn't take a lot of middies, because she's not strong and she can't create separation with her shoulders. Remember, I talked earlier about like shoulder level when you're dribbling. She isn't strong, even though she got shoulder level, so she doesn't create separation for her sidestep jump shot in the midi, and she only has a 5'9" wingspan. So that's why she doesn't use the midi. So she's going to have to get in the gym, create some kind of upper body strength so she can create that separation to get that jump shot. Because the quickness is there. She just doesn't have the strength. So she relies on the long threes and trying to get downhill, getting shifty around bigs. She doesn't attack bigs. She goes around them because she's so quick. And her first step and her jump is so fast.
Does that work in the SEC for her?
That doesn't work in the SEC because guess what? You better hit them free throws because you're going to the line. And
just through contact, and she knocks down she shoots a good free throw.
I've watched games yesterday against Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Notre Dame game. They got physical with her, and the whole second half, she never went downhill again. The whole second half.
Okay. Wow.
She doesn't shy from contact, but she gets in her own head. Like I noticed she got in her own head when she started resulting the jump shots. She started taking long threes. When she seen the paint pack, she started just saying, I ain't gonna be able to get down there. Like in the SEC, and to say she's I do want to see her free throw percentage get a little higher though. Like her free throw percentage isn't high enough for me to say she's taking that many shots. I want to see her free throw percentage to be a little higher, especially if she's going to have the ball in her hands and she wants to be in the game down the stretch. Because you got to think about the SEC, Cess. In the SEC, every game's going to be close.
Oh, listen, every game going to be close. But what I like, she shoots. I complain about the South Carolina free throws all the time as a team. So her coming in, I think she's shooting around 84, 85%. I'll take
She got to get that to 93.
You know me. I'm with you. I love a 90, 92, 93. I like it. But I'll take 85 for I don't know where we was at as a team. We improved a lot last year, but our that was one of the worst things that we did. Shoot the free throws, rebounding. Dang. What are some of the other areas of improvement? And these areas of improvement are we talking to be successful in the SEC, or are we talking about her developing to play at the next level when we talk about these areas for
both because this is what I always say, Cess. The SEC is the next level.
I love it. Let's go.
That's kind of how I look at it. Like remember I said earlier, like when you think about as a kid coming out of high school, you and your parents got to be honest with where your game is. If your game isn't pro ready, don't go to the SEC, because that's why Ta'Niya Rivers left.
Okay.
Her game wasn't pro ready. She had to go develop. Dawn runs a pro ready system. So if you're not pro ready, you'll look awkward in the system, because guess what? The other 4 players are pro ready. Even though they're freshmen, their skill sets are pro ready.
I got to ask you this one. So do you think that my man at NC State is doing a lot of development, or did Ta'Niya Rivers?
No, she needed to show her game. She went there to show her game. Again, that's what I talked about. Ta'Niya was at Florida State to show her game. Now she can go get pro ready with Dawn.
Gotcha. Okay.
And get a championship on the way out.
I see you got some size disadvantage, physical post ups. How does going against Raven every day? And how does that iron sharpen iron help Ta'Niya specifically?
I was glad you asked that question, because I was like, I want her to ask that question. Raven and Ta'Niya are going to help each other. Know why? Because Raven is the best guard defender the last 2 years, in my opinion. In my opinion, Raven is the best guard defender in college basketball the last 2 years. And guess what's going to happen? We talked about Ta'Niya not being able to play through contact sometimes, right? Guess what Raven is? A contact defender. So Raven getting up in her dribble, making her kind of play through contact, is going to help her at the next level, because at the next level, they ain't going to let you sit out there and dribble. Ask HVL yesterday when Ta'Niya and Lacan started playing her half court. See how she looked. Look, it's levels to this. Look, that's why I don't get into the fanfare. I hold people accountable. I'm honest. I played the game at a high level. I know mistakes I made that I had to learn from. So I look at players and say, how can your skill set translate? And for Raven, Ta'Niya is going to help her find easy shots for her because Raven has a long wingspan. If Ta'Niya can put some of her knowledge as far as like how she gets shots at the rim into Raven, you got a basketball player right there.
Oh yeah,
because that's the knock on Raven, right? Her offense.
Of course.
If Ta'Niya can put some of that knowledge on, hey, when I go here, I'm reading the defender and they're going to do this. So that's how I get my shot up. Like if she can put some of that knowledge into her, I think, because honestly, with Raven, she doesn't have a bad shot. I've been saying this for 2 years. Raven offense is IQ. Raven's offense is really.
I think Raven's offense is confidence, but we'll get into Raven.
I think it's more Raven? IQ than confidence because she doesn't use her wingspan and her quickness as much as she should on the offense.
And maybe that somebody needs to teach her to show her some things like that. But the reason I say it's confidence is because I just saw Raven shoot threes and then literally walk back down the court like, I can't believe I shot that. Like, not I can't believe I made it. I can't believe I shot that.
Some of that could be going into it, right?
Shoot it. Shoot it, Raven. I'm sure we're gonna break down Raven at some point, but this ain't about Raven. It's like, Raven, what? Like, you don't shoot that ball. So we're looking at the skill set breakdown. It looked like you got defense as her weakest skill set. But,
yeah,
but still just at a B minus. How does a program like Dawn's program help her defense in one season? Like we saw what it was able to do for a Pow in 2 seasons. What can we expect in her defensive growth with just only 1 season? With Dawn?
So the thing with her defense is, it's really her motor.
Okay.
Because she's pesky on defense. Offense to defense. It's really her motor. I think Dawn Staley and Raven Johnson are going to challenge her motor. Like, hey, you want to play? It starts here. And Dawn Staley is defense, offense, not offense to defense. Dawn Staley is always going to, because she's old school, like she's always going to be defense to offense. So Latson, I guarantee you, Dawn Staley's first practice and walkthroughs is probably defensive sets.
Oh,
I guarantee you, it's probably defensive sets because her offense is her offense, right? It's all about getting these players adapted to the defense. I mean, her offense doesn't change. Like her offense is her offense, high, low, losing the wings on the shooters, the wing shooters. Like her offense is her offense. The point guard, don't turn the ball over, get it to the big at the elbow, and go to your area of the court. Like her offense is her offense. For Ta'Niya, it's really her defense and her lack of motor, because she has the quickness. She has great hands. She doesn't have the wingspan, but she has great hands. I've watched film on her. She's great at picking pockets. She's great at pressing you full court, quick lateral movement. She's able to stay in front of offensive players. She got a great knack for knowing where the ball is going to go. It's really just her motor. I've watched film of her where she just stands there and the ball passes right over her head. No effort. Like ball passes right over her head, no effort. But again, right here, look, great instincts. She got a great quick step, offense to defense. Again, if her motor can pick up, she can be a pesky guard. Look, full court, great hands, good speed, stay in front of the defender. Again, she's a one woman show if she can just play defense. Like if she can just look how good her quick first jump is. Like, and look how quick she gets to the other end. That's your speed. That's speed. That's your twitch. Like just offense, like being able to get a bucket without having to set up on the other end is like next level. Like every coach wants a player that can just get a bucket without me having to go call a play. Get the ball, get it to the other end, and get a good shot. So you got to be able to have a high.
If it's motor, how much of it is just you're expending so much energy on the other end of the floor at Florida State that we're not asking you to use that motor on the other end. How much of it is that, and how much of that do we see change?
You know what I say to that, Cess? You know what I tell people when they say that? We had a player my junior year. Shout out to David. He came from where did he come from? He came from New Jersey. Shout out to David, high school in New Jersey. He was one of our threes. If you can't move on offense because you're tired playing defense, or if you can't move on defense because you're tired playing offense and you think you got this big responsibility, get in better shape.
Okay, so what is it? So what does it mean when they say they don't ask her to?
That's on her. Like, at what point, Cess, do athletes look at film and say, I need to get in better shape? At what point do athletes look at their conditioning and say, I need to get better than this? If I'm going, because again, Cess,
I think she just looked at it and
getting to the next level. The game is longer. The game is faster,
so
more physical.
So I got a question for you. At the college level, right? Do you say, hey, the strength and conditioning and the development that's going on here is trash? I'm not saying that about their school, but I'm gonna go get a body by Molly. Like Molly, I don't know. Listen, I'm so surprised, Prince, at how many people I see they look like they ain't been by a weight room. They ain't got no definition, no. But I mean, these D1 players talking about they going to the dub, and then I'm looking at Asia. Do y'all notice when Asia when she roll her?
Yeah. She got the traps up there.
Do y'all see? Do y'all see how Asia look out there? And then Olivia Miles, where you going? I'm not picking on her, but I'm saying, like, at what point, whose responsibility is it to get into that level of conditioning? Like, I'm at the school. What we got here? Jump ropes and dumbbells? What's going on?
Again, Cess, you got to remember though, Cess, there's the philosophy of, in college, it's not the coach's responsibility to develop you. It's the coach's responsibility to win games. So as a player, now you will have some coaches who want to take on that responsibility, like a Dawn, right? Who wants to take on that responsibility and that ownership of doing that. But the old saying is, at the college level, the coach's job is to win games. So you down there
in Louisiana, ain't you?
Yeah.
Because I said
I'm in Houston. I'm in Houston.
Well, you in Houston, but you familiar with Louisiana? You from
yeah, I'm from New Orleans, right? Yeah.
Okay, so when we said Robert Man Media said Kim Mulkey says she's not here to develop you. She's here to win 20 games a year. Is that really Kim's philosophy? Because LSU fans are like, Kim don't develop. They
got to get out of that mindset, Cess. If you ask anybody who played college sports, they will never put the onus on their development on their coach. Never, because they know that coach's job and responsibility. And when they go talk to that AD and sign that contract to come there, Kim Mulkey signed that contract to come to LSU, not to develop Angel Reese and Flaw J. She signed that contract to bring a championship there.
So the development is a bonus? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's a bonus. Why you think players love Dawn?
I know why I think players love Dawn, but people say I'm biased because I'm a Dawn fan. So I'm asking you.
No. And why you think players love Gino? Why you think players love Gino?
Man, listen. I can't figure out why Gino players can't stay healthy.
They're going to challenge you, and you're going to win games.
Do you think that part of the reason Gino's players can't stay healthy is because of the weather? I really believe it's got something to do with the cold weather. Like, he's not running his players in the ground.
Yes. Because think about it, all of them have lower leg extremities injuries.
That's what I'm asking.
It's the weather. It's the weather. It's the weather.
I just wanted your opinion on that. Okay, but okay.
It's cold air. That's why a lot of if you see a lot of players that can score a lot, they don't like to go to colleges up north. Like, that's why you'll see this player coming out of high school averaging 35 points a game, and he going to Alabama, or he going to Texas Tech because it's cold up there.
And I get y'all saying it's your responsibility to develop, right? But I also feel like coming in, it's no excuse, but coming in as a freshman, I don't know what I don't know. I know what they.
But you got personnel there, Cess. That like when people watching the game, They don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes. Everybody that comes to the team gets somebody assigned to them that you don't even know, and the school pays them to work one-on-one with you in the off season, to be in film studies with you. Their literal job is to be your caddy. Literal job. Like if you look at the NBA, people be like, LeBron trainer go with him everywhere. No. Everybody got a trainer. LeBron just get another special privilege for his trainer to be on the sideline. But Luka, KD, they all got a specific trainer. If you was ever see they practices, that trainer is sitting on the sideline in that chair. That's not a coach. That's KD's trainer. That's not a coach.
Gotcha. Okay.
Same thing in college. All of them. I guarantee you, if you contact Raven Johnson, she will tell you she got a specific trainer she works with. And he or she is at 80% of their practices. They're sleeping at her house. They're waking up 5 a.m. in the morning to work out, go run hills. They go and take a nap. They eating a low-carb, high-protein meal, taking another 3-hour nap, waking back up, going to the gym to close out the night. Like, that's how college is.
And Rob always talks about
the school gives you opportunities to develop, but that's not the coach's job.
Who's the shooting people? Who's the guys with the keys? Rob always talking about to get you in the gym to get your shots up. You got
talking about the shooting coaches.
You got to know them. Yeah, the shooting coaches. Like, so they're just there, you know. And I guess like what I imagine, because I didn't play at a D1 level. Like I played to high school, and then I played some 3-on-3 and intramural stuff like that, right? But I'm like, yo, to me, when you come in here, this is what you got to do. I need you getting up this many shots. I need you doing this much film study. I need you working on all of these things, and then we're meeting back to check to see if you hit those boxes. But this is like you go into the, you go develop where you don't. That's wild.
It says you know why I get mad at players, and people be like, Prince, you always hard on players. You know why? Because I know firsthand. Guess what, Cess? Every season, when you get back to school, you meet with the player personnel department, and they do an assessment on your development. When that season ended, everybody on South Carolina met with the personnel department probably 48 hours later, and they gave them a plan for the offseason. They emailed it to their trainer, and when they're at training camp, they do another assessment on their game and say, this is how many shots you got to get up per week. This is how many dribbles you got to take. This is how many miles you got to run. This is how many shuffles you got to do. Every player, again, the coach's job isn't to develop you, it's to win games. But the college sets the coach and the player up for success with developmental personnel people in the organization. So every player has their own workout plan. It isn't a whole team workout plan. Every individual player has their own workout plan. It's up to that player to take that workout plan and grow from it. And that's why I get mad at some players, because I know behind the scenes you being lazy right now.
So everything is there for you. The gym is open.
Everything is there for you. There's no excuse, Seth.
You do it or you don't.
There's no excuse. No excuse.
You do it or you don't. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. So
Seth, I'm telling you, that's why casual fans, I'd be like, what are you talking about? They're set up for success. It's up to them to use it.
I was about to ask you another question. We're gonna take this basketball conversation way somewhere else. I ain't going there with you right now. We're gonna stay on Ta'Niya Latson. So because we're not saying that she's not doing any of that. She looks like she's developing and progressing, and I feel like I did everything that I could here, and now I gotta go get WNBA really polished up. So we're looking at WNBA player comparisons, and you text me and asked me who did I think, and the person I thought you didn't put up here, but let's talk about these.
but look, I didn't put her. No, I know why didn't put her up there, because who you think gave her that nickname?
But I'm just saying, still though, you asked me who. That's the one. That's the one. It's Ivory Letter. It's her.
Yeah.
That's when I saw her. That's when I saw her. I was like, oh.
That's the old school comparison to her, even though she ain't old school. But that's the comparison to her as far as like her college game goes. Yeah, that's the closest person. And again, Baby Flash comes from her. She gave her that name.
Exactly. But I'm looking. The Odyssey Sims threw me off. Odyssey Sims threw me off because we were just having a conversation about Odyssey Sims, and my concern with Odyssey is how come she can't keep a job in the WNBA? Is that Odyssey or is that her skill set?
That's Odyssey.
Okay,
that's not her skill set.
If it's not her skill set, then I can understand then I can.
All up here, Cess. Okay. All up there.
Okay.
Some players are hard headed. It's like it's unexplainable, Cess. But again, people take athletes and put them into this category like they're not human. They're human. Mm-hmm. It's like having a job. Some people can't keep a regular job, even though they're good at certain things, even though they can be the most sweetest person in the world, Cess, but can't keep a job because they don't know how to work well with others.
This is true.
So when we're not talking about athletes, when people look at athletes, they say they so talented, this and that, but they don't work well with others. That person is talented at building houses, but he can't work well with none of the builders.
Well, I tell people all the time. 90% of this is your business. 10% of this is your talent. Do you take care of business? If you don't take care of business, I don't care how talented you are. It's a whole lot of talented people at the crib. It's probably people that you know more talented than the people shooting hoop right now in the NBA. Like, man,
I say that all the time.
Yeah. Man, if he would take care of business, it's the taking care of business part. So we're not saying that about Ta'Niya. She seemed like she's very, very serious about what she's doing and taking care of business. So what is it in Odyssey Sims' game, combo guard with playmaking and grit, that you think is the best case for Ta'Niya Latson?
The ability to be a combo guard like Odyssey Sims, play the 1 or the 2, where a coach doesn't have to find ways or force you into sets and systems, where if a player's in foul trouble, they can look on the bench, whether it be a 2 or a 1, and say, go get her. Where a coach can say, we need a scoring point right now. Come in the game for 5 minutes. Let's see what spark you can bring. We need some facilitating right now. Come in the game right now. Let's see if you can run my offense. Like, that's something she has to lean on to go to the next level because of her size, right? So she needs to be, when you're that small, you need to be able to give the coach more options than one. That way the coach isn't saying, well, she's small, but she can't shoot. You want that coach to say she's small, but she can't pass. She's small, but she can't run my system. She's small, but she can play some defense. She's small, but she can't score. You want to give the coach more options, because guess what? When all those coaches are in that office over there and y'all on the court working with the training personnel and they drawing up plays and doing installs for next game, they want you to be, when they say, okay, if we get into this situation against this team, who are the people we can put in? If we get into this situation, who are the people we can put in? If we need this, who are the people we can be put in? You want your name to be on each of those lists, because that's how rotations work. Like the good coaches, they do rotations like that. It's more of, okay, we need scoring right now. Who's our scoring unit? We need defense right now. Who's our defensive unit? At that size, you want to make sure coming into the WNBA, knowing how they treat rookies, you want to make sure you're on a couple of those lists. And the Deja Kellys, the Sellers, that's probably why they're not in the WNBA right now. Because when those coaches were drawing those lists up, they were probably on 1 or 2 of them.
See, I think they get back in the league next year. But I think when you said that, do you know who came to mind first? Dave Chappelle. Right? Yeah. Like score, but they said Becky had a defensive knock on her. So yeah, like you said, you were scoring, but what else? Like, especially at the size go down, the number of skills have to go up. You know, it's got to be toughness, heart, skills, right? Pro ready.
Because you can't teach height. You can't teach height.
No, cannot. So and you say playing style, Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell playing style keeps you in the league. Kelsey Mitchell playing style keeps you in this league. Yeah. But you said realistic competition. Tip
Hayes. I watched her game. Tiffany Hayes is her best comp, in my opinion, as far as who she can style her game after. I put Odyssey Sims as the best case as far as how teams can utilize her. And her playing style mimics Kelsey Mitchell's. Okay. But if she wants to be able to stay in the league, she needs to model her game after Tiffany Hayes, because Tiffany Hayes is a 6th woman off the bench. just won 6 women last year, can get downhill, can come in the game, change the pace, she has a shocking ability to pass the basketball. And a lot of people don't think Tiffany Hayes, when you say passing guards, you don't mention Tiffany Hayes, but if you watch her actually play basketball, she has a knack for knowing when to pass the basketball. And same thing with Ta'Niya Latson. When you say passing guards in college women's basketball, she don't come to mind. But when you watch her game, she can get the ball where it needs to go.
My knock on Tiffany Hayes is that Tiffany Hayes take too much contact. Every time I look up, she getting up off the ground. Every time I look up, she a little shook up. Every time I look up. So, but to me, if you stop and pop that elbow jumper, if you stop and pop that midi, that floater, then you could cut down on some of that contact. And so maybe that's where she grows. Maybe that's where she grows and keeps herself in the league.
Yeah. Like I wanted to. I'm so scared when I didn't want to say Kelsey Mitchell definitively, because that's why I was like, her current playing style is Kelsey Mitchell coming into the league, the quickness, the scoring mentality of I'm a scorer no matter what. But I always want to caution young players from that playing style, because most, like you just talked about with Deja, right? That's all she had, that Kelsey Mitchell kind of just, I'm a scorer no matter what, but she had nothing else to her game. Kelsey Mitchell lucked up going to a rebuilding team that needed that punch from her, losing to Mika Catchings. So she lucked up with that, right? And Caitlin Clark coming there saying, we need somebody on the court with her that can play off the ball. So Kelsey, those players like the Kelsey Mitchells, like the Kelsey Plums, they fall in. Same thing with Kelsey Plum with the Aces. She fell into the right. Again, those kind of players, a lot of them don't stay in the league. You got to be in the right situation. So that's why I caution a lot of players of trying to model that game style, because 7 out of 10 times
like they trying to
won't make it long.
My bad. It seems like they're trying to turn HBO into Kelsey Plum. Brother man, he did a good breakdown on they sent HBO to Plum Dog Camp, and then they tried, to me, Chicago tried to have her do some Kelsey Plum type stuff at the beginning of the season. Does that help HBO stay in the league? I don't think so.
That doesn't help her modeling her game after Kelsey Plum does not help her stay in the league.
Does it help Chicago?
She's not in a situation. This is the thing. Chicago doesn't need HVL to score 15 points. Chicago needs HVL to get the ball to the right person, be pesky on defense, and make open shots. Like that's how HVL stays in the league.
So can Latson build a staying in the league career off of those things as well?
Latson doesn't have to do that because she has more upside than HVL. She's quicker than HVL. She has more scoring ability than HVL. In my opinion, she's a better shooter than HVL. On the dribble and off the dribble. I would say this. I think HVL, I'll say this about HVL. I think HVL has more grit and tenacity to her. She can get dirty with the best of them. Like, I think HVL has more fire to her than Latson, because Latson is a little quiet. She'll yell every now and then. I think HVL has more tenacity and grit. That's where HVL needs to lean her hat on. Like she gotta get out what the media is trying to make her into, this prolific scorer. That'll kick her out the league, because she doesn't have the skill set to be that. Like she's quick, but people say she's quick. She can do. Quickness has nothing to do with your skill set. You know how many fast people are at home right now because they don't got no skill set? Cess, you know how many people always rave about people running 4.2s and the 40s at the NFL Combine. You know how many people have ran a 4.2 and a 40 at the NFL Combine and is at home right now with no job?
Right. Thought they was the next Dion. They ran 4-2.
Oh, yeah. I run a 4-2. I'm a cornerback running a 4-2 like Dion and get on the field with no intangibles.
None. They
people
throwing your way every time. They throwing your way every time.
Yeah, like HVL can lean on her quickness, but that shouldn't be her go-to. She got to find ways to impact the team outside of scoring and let her scoring be the surprise factor in her game. Because if she keeps leaning on the scoring, that's how teams are going to guard her, and that's why she's struggling, because teams are thinking HVL can't pass like that and she can't dribble. All she wants to do is score and get downhill and use her quickness. And again, last night, if you really watch the game, they used that against her. All she's going to do is turn her back to the basket because she can't dribble straight up. She don't know how to level her shoulders. She don't know how to keep the ball away from defenders. So Nia Rivers and Lakin had her in a straitjacket.
Oh yeah, listen, Rivers went bothering a lot of people in the WNBA right now. Her went bothering a lot of people.
You know who? I know a couple people like Showtime and all of them were talking about her. You know who HVL come out of her game after? Who that? Veronica Burton.
I can see it.
Simple passes. She won't wow you. See, HVL need to get out of that wow factor stuff she was doing in college. That ain't gonna work at this level because you don't got the skill set to elevate that wildness. At the college level, that player that you just made that crazy pass, they don't got the same reaction as the defenders in the WNBA. It's kind of like a quarterback.
They've seen it before.
Yeah, it's kind of like a quarterback, Cess. Like you see the college quarterback, they run in circles, get out of sacks, and throw a 60-yard bomb. At the next level, that won't work because the defensive ends are faster. So once you spin out of that sack, you getting sacked. You go
somebody about to smack you. You about to get smacked.
You know what I'm saying? So like she got to get out of that wow factor. And I think that wow factor with her is losing some of her confidence because she's not able to do her wow plays. She's not able to do the quick step back because now that when you do that step back, that defender is still in your face. In college, you was able to create separation with that step back. And that's one of her problems. She can't create separation on her shots. So now she got to pass the ball off. And now they're looking at her like, why we need you out here? You can't create a shot. You can't run the offense. You dribbling with your back to the basket.
You ain't playing no defense.
Like you gotta lean your head on multiple things.
Exactly. And you talked a lot about Latson's downhill. And I wanted to make sure that we took a look at what her downhill looks like before we get out of here. Because this is her skill set. I think that keeps her in the league, right? Let's go.
Yeah, being able to play in the paint is one of her biggest strengths. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like her ability to just find dribble lanes, dribble lanes where I can get an easy shot. She has an amazing floater. She can use every. I always talk about players using both sides of the rims. She's her IQ. She's able to just find lanes. Look at this quickness. Look at this. Just this. Hey, you see that play right there? That's where Joyce is going to benefit from. Joyce, be in position.
So here's the question, though. So yeah, Joyce is in position, but she's also going to have 2-6-6, 2-6-7 players. What does that look like coming downhill with a Joyce and a Latson and a
calling players out? You won't be one of those players.
Oh no, but I also think about the fact that one of the things I think she said it was Maddie. It was Maddie. She said she wanted Maddie to stop looking back for the ball. We'll get the ball to you. Right? Don't when the ball come off the rim, I don't need you to come back to the ball as the point guard. That's probably what you've been used to. Go, and we're gonna find you in transition because we coming, and it doesn't matter who brings the ball up. How does she fit in there?
She, again, if she can get her mid-range usage a little higher, find open lanes, back doors, and playing off the ball, she can fit into that system seamlessly. Playing off the ball, again, she can shoot the three. If she can find ways to be like, Dawn, just put me on some pin down screens. I've been working on it. Raven Johnson in half court, put me on some pin down screens. I can be pow in some of these sets, right? Like put me on some of these pin down screens. I got it. I can shoot the three. Send me on some of these pin down screens. If you want me off the ball a little bit, run me on some curls. Run me on a C cut. A C cut is basically I start on one end, go under the basket. I got another screen at the nail on the other end. I'll pop to the top of the key. Like send me on the C cut. You know what I'm saying? Look, run some backdoor motion with me. Do a blind screen. Let Chloe on the pick and roll with Raven Johnson. If that shot not there, go set the blind screen on the back door for me. I'll come flash to the other side. Raven got another option now. You know what I'm saying? Like she gotta be able to talk to Dawn about comfortability, and Dawn gonna put her in position.
So from a player's perspective, and I know you watched a lot of her film. How does her I want to kind of shift to leadership and intangibles here. How does her body language and communication on the court impact her team's confidence?
She can't slouch when her team's down because she's the scorer, right? Mm-hmm. When your team's down and you're the scorer, you can't slouch. If she's going to be a player they lean on, when the offense is stagnant, she can't slouch. Like she's supposedly, like I got her going mid first round. She got to be able to live up to that, because the players are going to be looking at her as a mid first round pick. So she got to be able to live up to that with her body language, because they're going to say, you're not the leader of the team, but you're going pro. So we expect you to have a certain amount of decorum. And Dawn's probably going to be the same way for her. You won't go pro. There's a certain amount of decorum your body language and tone has to have. It's never, the game is never over.
Develop? Is that something you think she has to develop?
I think she does.
I didn't see a lot of slouching. I didn't see a lot of slouching for what I watched.
I think she does. There's a couple games like the Notre Dame game. Some slouching was going on when they was down. I need her rallying the troops. Like y'all I need her to lean into, I'm the best scorer in college basketball. I need, like, you gotta lean. You can't, when you can't get to your spots, you can't forget who you are. Mm-hmm. You can't forget I can average 25 points. When South Carolina is down and they come out there and playing with their food, like a lot of top teams is known to do, they gotta look at Ta'Niya and say, go get us 25. We down 15.
Go get it.
It's simple, Cess.
Go get it.
We down 15. We were playing without food. We go get us that 25. We know you could get us. It's simple. And she got to be ready for the moment. So Dawn got to look at her, because see, what can't happen is, Cess, they can't be down 15 and Dawn look at her and want to tell her that, and her body language makes Dawn think twice.
Oh,
she got to look at her.
Look at you again.
Yeah, exactly. She got to look at her and say, "Oh, she ready?
Oh man,
she want that 25. She been asking before, because you know she's not gonna average 25 in this system, right? So every now and then, Dawn needs to be able to look at her and say, "Go get that 25. I know you've been itching for it. Go get it." Exactly. You got to be ready for the moment.
What's the next skill set she needs to sharpen to excel at the next level? Not in South Carolina, in the WNBA.
Skill set, shot creation, separation. Like being able to, again, like I talked about earlier, like getting stronger to use her strength and her quickness instead of her strength being a negative for her. That's why she gets forced into she takes a lot of tough shots. Like, that's why she gets forced into tough shots, having to go around 4 defenders, having to constantly exert a lot of energy, because she got to be faster than everybody on the court. Like, if she gets strength, now you don't got to be faster than everybody every play. You can take your time, be methodical, suss out the defense, see where you can get a shot, bump, separation, shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to do that, but it starts with your strength. So none of her skill sets mean anything if she doesn't get stronger.
I like it. So I see you got the draft projection and fit. You got some interested teams up here. Man, break it down.
Las Vegas can use her. she can be an upgraded version of Dana Evans, because that's what we're lacking off the bench.
This is for the as the teams are currently constructed, right? This is
currently constructed. Currently constructed, and I'm gonna probably throw in some where teams are trying to go, because like Phoenix, and Connecticut, and Indiana, they're trying to go somewhere else. So like for the Las Vegas Aces, let's say they bring back their core one last ride, right? Depending on what they do this season, they need another scoring punch off the bench. Again, Dana Evans is hit or miss. She can hit shots. She's a vet in the league now. Champion with Chicago, been there, done that, right? Not to say she's this prolific all WNBA player, but Aces could use another scoring punch off the bench. So I went best fits, even though Aces doesn't have one of those top draft picks. I wanted to add best fits so anybody watching can really understand how she can fit into systems. She can come in, do the mop up duty as far as scoring, and blowouts, do the mop up duty, get work on your game in her first year. Second year, be that spark off the bench, that microwave scorer off the bench for a prolific team, kind of built like a championship team, right? Give you those 8 points off the bench. That means a lot in the playoffs. If you come off the bench in the playoffs and give us 8 points, that's huge. That's what Benaji, Laney, and Kayla Thornton was doing for the Liberty last year. Quick 8 points off the bench. That's huge in the WNBA. Connecticut Suns, I like how they play. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They just don't have enough talent. They play hard. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They just don't have the talent. Her playing with Ta'Niya Rivers would be amazing, because now teams aren't going to have to force Ta'Niya Rivers to shoot the ball. Ta'Niya Rivers is going to be able to just run the show and find Latson. Because guess what? Both of them can run the floor with the best of them.
Absolutely.
Imagine them full sprint down the court with Aaliyah Edwards trailing.
Yo, don't get on. Oh, where's your money, Mabry over there in the corner shooting that 3-ball for him.
Well, yeah, of course you got your shooter spreading the floor, but
you got Edwards.
Mabry isn't that quick though. Mabry jogs a lot. Like maybe that's one thing about Mabry jogs a lot. She jogs a lot.
Don't do that. Tonight, interested is introducing a new Mabry. Mabry gonna stop jogging, man. Mabry be reinvented, man. Don't do that.
Hey, I look, too many times I see Mabry being the trailer. Mabry, you should not be the trailer as the shooting guard. I'm sorry. Look, people watching it be like, oh, look at Mabry just shot that 3. She shouldn't even been trailing to shoot that 3. She's a 2 guard.
Absolutely.
Why are you trailing the play?
Okay, appreciate you. So Indiana Fever, man, you know I'm not trying to say nobody Indiana, man. You guys explain yourself right here.
They need a scoring threat off the bench that's young, that can grow with the core. Because again, that's why they brought in Odyssey Sims and Erin McDonald, and they just signed somebody else. That's literally, like I said, who did I have up there? Odyssey Sims. Like, that's a younger version of Odyssey Sims. Indiana could use a player off the bench that could give them some ball handling, can play off the ball, and give them some scoring when shots aren't going down. Because Indiana depends on 3-point shooting a little too much at times. And all they do is give the ball to Kelsey Mitchell and say, go to work. You need somebody else out there with her sometimes. And against Dallas, they got caught up doing that. The shots wasn't falling. They tried to give it to Kelsey Mitchell, but nobody else came along because nobody else has her skill set on that team. So now all they're doing is double teaming Kelsey Mitchell off the pick and roll and saying, Aaliyah Boston, hit that jump shot. Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham, you ain't hit a 3 all game. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Go ahead. But you got Latson out there. Guess what? You can't double Kelsey. Because Latson gonna hit you with the back door. Latson gonna hit you with the midi. Latson gonna get downhill. Kelsey just gonna kick it to her and she's gonna get downhill, open lane.
So it's interesting that's everything you said, because that's not what I thought you was gonna say. I thought you was gonna say you were trying to get her back with Timpson. Because you also still
well, of course, that's her former teammate, right?
Right. So I mean, but that's just an added bonus. Because I wasn't thinking about
that familiarity.
Stuff, right? So I'm thinking of her like what I thought you were going to talk about was like, yo, you put her on that second team. They look different. It's her and Timpson, kind of a 2-man game versus what they doing on the first string. It gives them a different look, but she, definitely could get out on the floor with Kelsey Mitchell as well. So interesting.
Yeah.
Akoa Makani is one of my favorite new rookies. Akoa Makani.
Man, look, I got her on my all-rookie team. I don't know if it's first. I'm still debating. I don't know if it's first team or second, but she on my all-rookie team. I'm debating between her. I'm debating between her and Sulan for my first team. That's what I'm debating between them two for my first team.
Hooping too, but what would you like about a Latson and a Akoa Makani kind of team up? What would you like about them in the background?
Phoenix is kind of in the same boat that Indiana is in as far as like scoring punch off the bench. Like they got too many shooters and not enough ballers off the bench. Everybody off their bench is just shooters. Like they need, because I watched them play Atlanta. Every time their bench came in, it was just AT coming down the court, ISO 1-on-1, trying to get downhill and kick it to a shooter. Like that, when you don't got a big to help set that strong screen for AT to find shooters, they struggle. Like if AT can't get to that passing
Haley Jones, though. Didn't they have
Correct.
Haley Jones?
Correct.
They should have held on to Haley Jones.
Correct.
That was the thing that was the one thing that I was like, Phoenix, man, bro, y'all cut a lot of people, but I would have held on to Haley.
Because they going in, they Nate Tibbetts is bringing in that NBA philosophy, because he was in the NBA. He bringing that NBA philosophy of spread the floor, use AT like a LeBron, put shooters around her. Like that's why they don't really care about playing with a big. They trying to play that small ball, but it's gonna catch up to him in the playoffs. And somebody like Latson coming off their bench when the offense is stagnant, kind of like Indiana, when AT can't find those passing lanes, somebody coming off the bench, give them another spark, change the pace. Latson would fit well in that system that they're building with that young core. And she would fit right with them because they got two rookies that get starter minutes. So her coming in, it won't mess up the rotation of things, because your rookies are already starting this year, so now they're comfortable going into their second year in their roles. Because the one thing you don't want to do is bring in a high draft pick like Latson, and your rookies from last year aren't comfortable with themselves, because now things kind of get out of flux. Like they need to, these rookies, they need to know who they are for this unit.
I got you. Now, I'm surprised that I didn't see one team here.
Who?
Washington. Could you imagine Latson with Kiki? Don't do me like that.
I didn't look.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Latson and Okikiola with Citron? Come on, man. With Shakira up there? You telling me? And listen, I don't know if Amore is healthy, right? Like, rough start for the kid, right? You didn't get Georgia Amore. You didn't get to play it all your rookie year. You get a shot, but could you imagine? Like you replace with a Latson? Talk to me.
Want me to tell you why I didn't put the Mystics?
Yes, I want to know why you don't want to see her with Okikiola. Come on.
Man. And the Mystics, and I'm a Citron and Kiki fan. I introduced a lot of YouTube to Citron. Can I tell people the player I want to do next?
Yeah.
I want to do Kiki Rice next, because she's part of the 14 for the Unrivaled.
This is his pick, y'all. This is his pick. But
I want Kiki.
I can't wait to learn what everybody loves so much about Kiki, because I haven't seen it.
I want Kiki.
This is gonna make me watch a lot of film. So let's go.
I want Kiki to end up on the Mystics because she's the actual point guard they need. Georgia Moore was never supposed to be their starting point guard. She was supposed to be their punch off the bench. That's why I don't want Latson going there, because that's Georgia Moore's role. She's going to be handling the ball off the bench, giving them that scoring punch, kind of like Melbourne's doing with them this year. That's kind of going to be like Georgia Moore's role. And Melbourne going to be able to play more off the ball, because she struggles on the ball sometimes. I don't want Melbourne on the ball like that. I need her playing off the ball a little. I need her off the ball because she can shoot. She can get downhill as far as like off the ball, finding those little windows where you can see her going back door. I want Melbourne off the ball board. She struggles on the ball. I want Georgia Moore to run that second unit because she can shoot. She can spread the floor. She can pass. But her size in the starting unit, I don't want that. It's going to throw the set off. It's going to throw the system off. It's kind of like having HVL in your starting lineup. Like it just makes the system too hard to run. It makes it because coaches don't want to do extra to run their system. Like, why do I got to do extra to run my system? It's like you should be able to fit my system. I shouldn't have to put these handicaps in there and these caveats for you to run my system. So I think Latson being on that team at the 2-guard spot starting, I got her starting at the 2-guard spot. And know why? Because on the defensive end, Kiki can guard 2s because she's 6 feet. Then you got Citron, Kiki, and Shakira. That is a starting lineup, Cess. That is Kiki, Latson, Citron, the other Kiki, and Shakira.
I gotta see
that unit can grow together for 3 years, Cess, and you build out a bench for that unit.
Listen, I'm telling you, I told Kiki you're a fan. That's why I said and y'all tell her I said it. Stop calling yourself Kiki. Make them say, "Oh, Kiki Ola," so they don't mix you up with them. I don't know if they talking about Kiki Rice, Kiki Vandeweghe, Kiki Shepard. I don't know. So you make them say, "Oh, Kiki Ola." You hear me? Right, come on, man. We gonna see.
So if she was to go there, she would be starting. Like I said, like that lineup would be good. She would be starting, and Kiki can guard the 2 on the other end, and she can guard the 1. But I don't want her on that team, even though I just gave that lineup of her in the starting lineup. I wouldn't want her on that team because they got to see what they got with Georgia Moore, and they would kind of be getting in each other's way because she was a high draft pick. She was a high draft pick, so they got to see what they got in her.
So let's talk high draft picks. We're gonna have them high draft picks. So would you send her to Chicago?
I don't think Chicago will have a high draft pick.
Okay.
I got Chicago. I got Chicago with a 5. I got Chicago with a. Honestly, I got Chicago with the 7th pick. I think that Connecticut pick is going to be number 7.
Okay.
And this is why, because they do the picks 2 years out, and Connecticut went to the semis last year.
Yeah.
They went to the semis last year, and the Sparks, Dallas, the 2 incoming franchises, and probably Golden State will have those top 6 picks.
Does she fit on any of those 6 teams?
A player like Latson, I wouldn't put her on Portland or Toronto because they're incoming franchises until I see what they do in the expansion. I need to see their expansion draft teams. You know what I'm saying? I need to see what their expansion draft teams look like before I say a because you don't build a team around Latson. She's part of the system once you figure out your team. Like Latson is one of those plug and play players. Like she can, like you need to see what your team looks like first. So teams that are like rebuilding down to the studs, I wouldn't draft a Latson because now I gotta rush to do these pieces because she only fits with certain players. You get what I'm saying? Like a Chicago, I wouldn't draft a Latson, and people gonna be like, "Well, Chicago needs scoring. Chicago needs more important things than Latson." Chicago needs a 3. Chicago needs a point guard. Chicago needs more important things than Latson. They need a stretch. They need a real stretch 4. Like they need a backup big because E. Will might not be back next year. Like they need more important things than what Latson could give them. Latson needs to go to an already made team.
So overall, scouting grade. Before we let you out of here,
I had her at a B-. She's one of my top 5 players in this incoming draft and what's going to be presented in college basketball. I have her making the All-American team again this year. Again, last year she was the first Florida State player to actually make the All-American team. That's why they don't be selling out their games. They ain't got much to root for. I'm interested to see what Florida State looks like this year. They ain't got much to root for over there, and that's a football town.
Nah,
Florida's always
are
been
they
a
coming to the
football town.
games or what?
Yeah, I mean Latson was that those ticket sales last year, but I got it with a B- grade just because of her defense and strength.
Scouting summary, right? This WNBA scouting summary. This doesn't have anything to do with what he thinks she'll do.
No,
next. This is going to the. I want to just make that clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. This had nothing to do with how she's going to perform at SC. This is about what scouts are probably looking at in her game, going to the next level as far as like what they value her draft pick at. I got her at a B- as far as this upcoming draft class. I got her as the number 1 2 guard out of this draft class. Kiki Rice is my number 1 point guard, and she's my number 1 2 guard out of this draft class. She has great intangibles for scoring, playmaking, high IQ. You can't teach the speed and the lateral quickness she has. She does have some leadership that she does need to work on, but she can be a leader because she led Florida State for all those years, right? Even when Tipson left. Again, her concerns is always going to be until she gets stronger, her strength, and one of her concerns is always going to be her size. She can't get no taller. She is who she is. And her defensive versatility is going to be a concern as well. Can she switch on the twos depending on the team? Because her and Ariel Atkins ain't that much taller than each other. The Kennedy Carters, the Kelsey Mitchell ain't that tall. Kelsey Plums. So if they're at the 2 and she got to switch on to them, okay. But most of the 2, you don't want to switch it on to Gabby's. You don't want to switch it on to the Sykes. You don't want to switch it on to those players at the 2 guard position. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll put her in the post. She struggles getting posted up. They would do it a lot in college last year with her, have her in the paint posted up. Again, this draft class doesn't have a lot of options. I honestly, I'm not too high on this draft class. So I got her as a backup point guard right now, and my projections coming into the WNBA. Backup point guard off the bench in a veteran system. She needs to be a backup point guard in a veteran system because she gives you scoring and a change of pace only. That's what she gives you.
All right. Oh, we'll see. So you said all of that. South Carolina finishes the season national champions, and she's a big part of that. Does that change the grade at all?
No, because her skill set is her skill set. Like my grade, when I do grades, it ain't about winning. It ain't about what you won in college. Like her winning a championship doesn't change how I view her because her skill set is her skill set. You know what I'm saying? So like Camilla, even if Camilla didn't win a ring, her skill set is her skill set. You get what I'm saying? Like she could have went to Alabama and never won a ring. Her skill set is her skill set.
Got you. So I got a question about the concerns then, because the concerns to me should be stuff that she could do something about. She's never gonna be able to do. She's as big as she's gonna get, right? Physicality with her size, should she be more physical?
Yeah.
Is she
she should be way more physical. She should be way more physical.
Because I just was saying, like when we was talking about Tip Harris, Tip Hayes, like every time I look up, you getting up off the ground, you got a mask on, and they hurt your face through the mask. Like my goodness,
she's just a wild player. Like, but let's be honest, Tiffany Hayes is Tiffany Hayes because she's physical. Because if she was just out there shooting jump shots and just passing the ball, she wouldn't be Tiffany. She wouldn't have been the 6th woman of the year. She wouldn't have been the NBA champion on that Las Vegas team. Like she's Tiffany Hayes. She's Tip. She got the nickname Tip because she's physical. Because she'll go in there and bang with the best of them. Some players just fall like that. No, in the NBA, Damian Lillard just falls every time he's on the ground. Some players just fall like that. Like some players, they just don't know how to land.
Anthony Davis too. Every time.
Yeah,
Bro, you just
don't know how to
you just
land.
fell 7 feet, bro. Get up. Bro,
And he don't even jump that high. Like, he always on the ground and he don't even jump that high.
Right, come on, AD, get up, man. So I see y'all saying Kiki Rice, #1 point guard. I'm gonna have to hear this too, because y'all know my #1 point guard is Raven Big Bird Johnson. Y'all know who my #1 point guard is in college hoops right now. So I cannot wait to hear next week. We're gonna talk Kiki Rice. Wrap this thing up for us. On a whole, Ta'Niya Latson, the player, what does the coach get?
The coach gets a player that they can give the basketball to when things fail and say, get us out of this hole. The coach gets a player that they can lean on to get the offense in a fluidity when it's struggling. They got a baller. They got somebody that's gonna fight. She ain't gonna quit. She gonna fight. She's a clutch player. The WNBA and Dawn Staley is getting a clutch player. They're getting someone who's smart, who they can give a install to and say, we need you to run this, and they'll run it. They're getting someone who's going to be able to be plug and play no matter who's around her. So that's who they're getting.
I love it. And she gonna get that defense improved. That defense improved.
I think Dawn Staley gonna fix that.
Yeah, the defense and Body by Molly will have her a little bit more durable. I don't want her to have to be too much more physical, but we'll have her a little bit more durable. I love the way that they're competing in South Carolina right now. Coming out of Final Four Fridays, Raven talked really, really highly about just how tonight was challenging her and pushing her to be better. So I'm locked in to see what this kid brings to South Carolina and where the Gamecocks go this season. We had the national championship, though. We already know that. What you got before we get ready to get out of here?
Oh man, look, another great show. You know what we do, Cess? We just want to teach them something, man. Elevate the young women coming into the WNBA, man. That's really the goal. We just want to teach them something and elevate these women. That's what we here for. That's what we here for.
So next week we got Kiki Rice.
Kiki Rice. Let's start watching that film.
Man,
start watching that film.
Now I'm playing. So we got Kiki Rice coming in. Been another great one. If you missed Malaysia, go back and check out the Malaysia breakdown. Ta'Niya Latson this week. We owe y'all some kind of video of Lay's film breakdown. So we'll get that done for y'all. But looking forward to talking Kiki Rice. Prince, I appreciate y'all. Another great episode of Breakdown Beyond the Arc. Y'all know what it is. If you're not following us, I don't know what y'all waiting on. I am Media, Cess Talks Sports. Until next time, y'all stay tuned. Talk soon, man. We out.